And I went home with them on the weekends. And they, out from where they lived, they had this place where they danced. And we went out there. Of course, I didn't dance. I never was allowed to go do nothing like that, but we went. And when we just drove up there, well, him and another soldier was standing there, and they walked over to the car and started talking to us. And I was putting on some lipstick or something. He stuck his hand over there, and he said, "You can put some of that on me or something, tease me." But went on in, and I got to know him that night. And then we only dated about a month. We got married. We was married for 18 years.
Wow. So is that when you quit working at Douglas there after y'all got married? Or?
Let's see. I have to stop and think. That was in the 40s. And I guess, I can't right now, I can't even think.
Where did y'all get married at, Grandma?
In Tulsa.
In Tulsa.
I started to say a doctor. A preacher up at Tulsa married us. I was trying to think if I quit working up there, the rub then or not. I can't remember. But he did. He got out. He got out of service in '46. He was in Korea. No, that was later. He went to Korea. But he got out in '46. And I know when he come home in '46, he said that'll be the next place where they'll have a war. And sure enough, it was about, what, 2 or 3 years later?
Yeah, not very
long.
Until
the war broke out in Korea. But he was over there. That was later when he was over there, because we'd been married a good while, and Gary Wayne was a baby, and I was living with Mom and them. And I went to work for Mr. Warren's store. And Mom babysit with Gary while I worked up there. And after he come home that time, that's when we moved to Indiana.
So after y'all got married, did y'all live here in Oklahoma first before y'all moved up there?
Yeah. Well, first time I went up there, as after we'd married though, this guy from Fayetteville, Indiana, I think the name was Fayetteville, he had a car and he was he lived in New York, I think, but there was another couple lived in St. Louis, and then we was going to his mom and dad's home. They lived in Indiana, so we rode that far. And the other couple rode to St. Louis, and they got out. And then we rode on to Indianapolis, and his dad picked us up there, and that's the first time I met his folks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And y'all were already married?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we was married when Mom and them met him. We was married, and we went home, and that's when Papa went to this old woman that broke him. He had a spot on his nose, his cancer, and somebody told him that woman put some stuff on her and it cured. Well, he believed everything anybody told him, and he let her smear some stuff and about eat his nose off. And he was laying up in bed just groaning and carrying on. It was hurting so bad, and when me and Ken got there, I always remember. And Papa was laying out in bed, he was hurting, his nose bothering. And that's after we first married. Mom never had met him either. But we went to Indiana, and Grandma Cyrus met us at the front door. And she was short and had the biggest breasts. I thought, my Lord, looked like Dolly Parton. Of course, her and Grandpa, both of them was short and heavy set.
Yeah.
And we was cooking supper one night, and of course, I'd always cook. We both 22. I was from June to August older than him.
Oh, yeah.
Both 22, yeah. And Grandpa Cyrus said something. I was fixing potatoes or something. And I heard him say something to Grandma. I said, well, at least she knows how to cook. But But they lived out in the country. Grandma and Grandpa Savard lived out in the country. And he farmed. That tractor. That's where Larry would stay in the summertime because I worked all the time, and Larry'd stay out there when he wasn't in school.
Yeah.
And he'd help Grandpa, and he was a lot of help to him. He learned to drive that tractor while he wasn't big as nothing. I know Mr. Fields was a neighbor, lived over there, and Grandpa gathered a load of corn, and he had this barn open in the center, but a barn feed things on each side where he kept feeding and corn in. And Larry got on the tractor, and he just backed that right in between them two barns, you know. And Mr. Fields was there, and he said he just scratched his head. Grandpa said, he said, that boy, and he wasn't very big, he said, that boy did a better job than I can do.
Yeah.
But Larry learned to drive young. His daddy let him sit between his legs when we'd go out there, because they lived in the country. We'd go out there, you know, and he'd let him sit up and drive when we got out in the country. We lived in Greenfield and Knightstown, two different places.
Did you ever go to that, y'all went to the Friends Church in Westfield, didn't you?
Yeah, in Charlottesville. It was at Charlottesville, and it was Friends Church. That's what Grandma and Grandpa Savard always went to Friends Church. It used to be called Quakers years ago.
Yeah.
And years ago, the men would sit on one side, they sat, and the women on the other side. But it wasn't that way then, you know, back then. I mean, when we went, it just like any other church, wasn't that much difference.
Yeah.
And we went, that's where we went to church at. But it was in Charlottesville, Indiana.